I've talked a bit about this, but a strong application isn't just a list, it's a narrative. It's how everything comes together. Right? So admission officers are looking to see their academic talents, their performances, what they're doing with that, what they're excited by, their letters of recommendation, and their voice. And so, for example, the student is applying for computer science. What a narrative might look like is that they have taken advanced math and science classes in that category one in that talent. They've done well in those. Maybe they've taken computer science. Maybe they have taken some online certifications or online classes in that number two category. Maybe they've joined that TSA organization. Maybe they've excuse me, competed in the American Computer Science League and done well, or the United States Computing Olympiad is another organization. Perhaps they've done a summer program like in Spirit AI. And so that, number one and number two, they flow together well. Number three, in those essays, they don't have to talk about their computer science interest. I'm usually actually encouraging the opposite, that students talk about the broad range of their talents, their interests, their character. But in the recommendations, it's helpful for a computer science student to have a comp sci, math, or science recommendation. And so that is a cohesive narrative. On the flip side, if a student says that they want to study biology, but they've never taken advanced science classes, or some of their lower grades are in science classes, maybe in their activities, they're doing, no science activities, but they're dedicating all of their time to student government, debate, mock trial, and model UN, which are great activities. I want students to do them. But in the absence of science activities, it looks a little strange to admission officers. That's not necessarily a cohesive narrative, because an admission officer would pause and think, well, why aren't you wanting to study political science or a social science if that's what all of your activities are and you're not doing as well in your science classes? And so it just makes them pause and think. And so again, it comes together as a narrative, not a list. Now, some action items. So families, notice the clues. Pay attention to what your child is interested in, on their pastimes, their hobbies. If they're always shooting hoops with friends on the weekends, ask if they want to join basketball. If you have a student who is obsessed with video games, I know we try to pull them away from video games, but how can you incorporate video games into their academic interests? Maybe you want to sign them up or see if there's any video game development classes or summer programs, things like that. Maybe, you think that your student is interested in one subject, but they're gravitating towards another, right? Maybe you think that your student is interested in English as a major, but like, man, they're really entrepreneurial. They always want to take these business classes. Encourage them to explore business, right? Help them start connecting the dots. Go on college visits. This is one of my favorite. You can see behind me all of the pennants and like the UT Austin poster I've collected and the Southern Methodist bag I've collected. I love a college visit. The best way to get a feel for a college is by going on campus. It is so much harder to do a virtual info session or read the website and get a feel for it, but walking around a school really gives you such a great feel. Now, if you don't have the opportunity to visit a campus in person, it still is great to do these virtual sessions, but whenever possible, go on college visits. Even if there are local schools nearby and you don't think your student wants to apply, it's still great to go on a college visit there to just introduce them to the types of things that, they might find at a school. So if you're in New Jersey and maybe your student is not interested in Rutgers, take them to Rutgers anyways. They might talk about something on that tour that really excites your child. And while they may say, I don't want to go to Rutgers, you could say, okay, let's find you a school that has that. Or if you're in Southern California, go visit the University of California, San Diego. Same thing. They might end up falling in love with UCSD or Rutgers, but if not, I guarantee you they will find at least one thing that they're really excited by at that school, and you can help them find that at another great school. And talk to your child's school, especially, I don't know if there's current families out there, even though you're working with us, maybe you're working with me, we are great resources. I would like to think I'm a great resource, but I'm not there day to day with your student. I've met your student virtually. And while I keep them accountable, while I'm always talking with them, while I have great relationships with them, the teachers are seeing them day to day. They're seeing the work that they're turning in. They know, what extra credit is available and things like that. So don't keep your students' school out of the loop. Chat with them, stay in touch with the school counselor, advisors, teachers, and make sure that they're taking advantage of everything. All righty. Well, I'll pause here.